In this slide, we see even though the Batman's parents are idealistic, they were killed. So in this case, this Bruce Wayne, he could have been someone like the Joker. He had the money, he could do anything he wanted. But instead, he chose a life of, how do you say, restoring stability and so on, fighting crime. So this is what we see. Like when we look at the hero's path, the hero will come across many problems, many obstructions, but he comes across, he goes over them. Especially if you look at Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man trilogy. Peter Parker is he was just a pizza delivery guy, but his girlfriend comes him, and his family, he loses his uncle, and so on. But he chooses to rise above that, and that's what defines a superhero. That's why Batman is much better person to look forward to than the Joker. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's the idea that we had, and then we could.
In history, you will be called Alan number 1, D25, because there is another Alan number 2. Ashwa Ghosh, thank you for the inspiration you gave, Alan. It was beautiful listening to you. I want to stop teaching and I want to just let you all speak. You're just good, such good speakers. And you bring so much knowledge and perspective into the classroom. Thank you so much. You can pass on the mic to somebody else. Nobody from this side is speaking, you can give them, or at the back.
Hi all, so we all worked on one is Nandana. My name is Nandana and I am from Palakkad. I did my UG and PG.
Stand in the middle.
So I did my UG and PG from Central University of Karnataka. So today I met 4 of my we made a team, and I met another Nandana, and Leela, and also Jinsi. So I did my PG dissertation on humanities. So worked on 3 texts. 2 of them was by Amita Ghosh and 1 by Pankaj Sijapia. That is an island novel. And what we talked about was the changing times on how ocean was a liminal space in how people viewed our society, how our perceptions changed by time. So we did work on the pre-colonial, colonial and also post-colonial scenario. And one thing about Amita Ghosh is like, he's an anthropologist. So every text he writes has so much in detail element of everything that happens. And the text I worked on was Sea of Poppies, which is part of his trilogy. And also I'm sorry, I'm a bit nervous, that's it. And the other text was In an Antique Land. So in the Antique Land, it talks about this person from Egypt. He comes to India, he settles here, and somehow, and all the things that happens in and around, and how time changes. And then we see a situation where the colonizers comes in. The one thing I wanted to focus on my dissertation was not to focus on the gender aspects and purely on the humanitarian aspects. And I realized that somehow or the other, after colonization, we have acquired the characteristics of the colonizer in so many ways. That is seen in the island novel. It's called The Last Day, where we see that the people, that all of them are Indians, but they have a clear distinction or a bias towards the indigenous communities there. And somehow there, we acquired the characteristic of the colonizer to suppress them more and more. So that was something I worked on, and we had a discussion about it. So,
You should team up with the eco-criticism team. They are also into Amitabh Ghosh. Nandanas, Leela and?
Leela, Jinsi and Nandana.
Jinsi. 2 Nandanas, Leela and Jinsi. Thank you very much.
Anakaru. I studied my UG in Mattama College, Naru, PG in SN College for Women, Kollam, and I done my BEd, completed my BEd this year in Changi College. So we took the topic. It was my dissertation project, a cure for wellness, and the theory applied is psychoanalysis, the functioning of subconscious mind, unconscious mind, and conscious mind. In the project concentrates to the mental patients in the asylum. They are treated what? We know that in our modern world we have stress, tension, mental illness. The doctors make us even worse. They're telling that what? You have mental illness. In the last, everyone has what? Stress, tension. But handling. When we face some problems, we don't know the correct solution. That's the problem. So, and then Foucault's theory is also applied there. Power, medical what? Medical primary, the power of doctor to control the patients is mentioned, and Hannah, the what? A weak or what? She's portrayed as a very innocent, the doctor's daughter, and in the last, what? She and the actress escaping, they smile. They will not go, what? He does not want to return to the world full of stress, chaos, and all.
Which novel is this?
No, it's a movie, Cure for Wellness,
Oh,
2017.
I didn't get the beginning part.
Okay, these are my teammates. Sharon, Bhagya.
Thank you, Anaka, Sharon, and Bhagya. No, you have to pass it on to someone. Wonderful. Are you all friends or you just met up?
So hi all, my name is Alan.
Number
and
two.
I am coming from.
Alan the second.
So we were a group of three, and I met Sam and Kamala. They're both from. Kamala is from Trichy, and Sam is from Martanda. So I'm coming from Trivandrum. I was born and brought up here. I completed my graduation and post-graduation at Madhavan's College. So I have some familiar faces here. Devika, she was my batchmate. And Jobin sir, he's my church mate. We are going on same church, and he's the captain of our cricket team. So we're so close. I know Kalyani ma'am well, and I came up with so much of dream here to achieve the next exam. And the things we have discussed here is not about the project. We were talking about language. We were talking about culture. It was an ice-breaking session for us. We haven't talked about any of the projects and all. So, yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you all, and hope I'll meet you all so private, and we'll figure it out.
Yes.
Just little things.
Thank you very much, Alan, Sam, and Kamala. Hey guys, I forgot to talk to you. We are having our inauguration of the Trivandrum match here. Our media team was so much involved in getting everything ready that they forgot about YouTube in between. But then they woke up and started YouTube Live. So right now we are doing a session here where everybody is talking about some research idea or a research proposal that they can do in 1 hour. Can you do that? If not, no problem. We'll give you ideas. Okay, next please. You don't have to be worried about YouTube friends. They're all actors.
So hi everyone, my name is Arpita. I just completed my post graduation from NIT Trichy. So basically, visual culture theory, which most of you have not even heard of. And so while I was talking with my friends Devika and Hima, we were also not talking about the research subject. We were basically just talking about how different all our syllabuses were and how differently we approached our MA and all. And then while we were talking, one thing that's quite common among us is that we wanted to know more about identity and post-colonialism. So we came up with we could try to do something on post-colonialism or about some other works of Chinua Achebe and any others. We are just discovering ourselves today. So that's all.
Thank you, Arpita. Arpita, Hima and
Devika.
Devika. So it was Arpita from NIT Trichy. Now somebody else is coming up.
Hi everyone, so I'm Anika.
Anika the second.
Yeah. So I completed my undergraduation from University College Trivandrum, so I'm familiar with Trivandrum, and my postgraduation from Delhi University, and I just came back just a month. So it's nice to meet all of you first of all. Then my friend is Shilpa. She's from Kalyani Trivandrum itself, and she already has a BA degree as well, so that's nice to meet her too. So we're basically discussing about Dalit literature, and I don't have a well organized theory or anything. So we're going to talk about two texts. One is K. Kalyani Rao's Untouchable Spring, and another one is The Prisons We Broke by Baby Gambling. So when we think about Dalit literature, it's more than just storytelling. It's basically the representation of the realities of life, the harsh realities of caste discrimination. So in Kalyani Rao's text, they basically talk about the story of 6 generations. The names are really interesting. It's like Yelena, the place where the whole play happens, so the whole novel happens. And there are characters like Yelena, then Yelena, Jason, Ruth, and so on. So in the story, you can see the story is told by Ruth, a lady character. She tells the story of 6 generations from the perspective of Reuben, her husband. Though she tells this long story, she does not talk much about the women. So again, something that we have not discussed in literature. Where is the position of women in literature? So when we look into Virginia Woolf's A Room of One, so you can see that she says the condition of Judith Shakespeare, what would have happened. I'm sure we might be familiar with her. So the women is absent in literature, and currently yes, there is space, but the past. So again, this can see in Kalyani Rao's Untouchable Spring as well. So from a female perspective, when you look into Dalit literature, you can Baby Campbell is one of the first authors who bring a Dalit autobiography. He discussed about Dalit patriarchy. So yeah,
Prisons we broke.
yes, the prisons. Again, the title is very significant. It's a prison we broke, not I broke. So the collective resistance that she talked about, which we can relate to the idea of cultural insurgency. Cultural insurgency, which was discussed by Dr. Nadaraj, how the oppression that a community, a set of people has faced will be act as an agent of resistance. So yeah, we are basically discussing about all that. Again, the Gandhian ideology we can apply to it, or another concept would be we can apply is Laura Baker's concept of the idea of authenticity, where the Dalit writers have the pressure to portray the realistic representation, which will point to another conflict which we have already heard in literature, that the representation of Dalit reality by the people who had first-hand experience, as well as the people who imagine it and write. For example, Untouchable by Gulraj Anand, and at the same time, you can say Kalyani Rao. So I think these are the things that we discussed. Thank you so much.
Anika and Shilpa. Thank you. No, I can't touch the mic. You have to give it to somebody else.
I was looking like who else is left to speak, so I'll go to the last bench. I know they didn't.
There also there are.
Vinesh, actually I'm representing my group consisting of Koshi and Dinesh. Both of them are from Karnataka and from Kerala, Trivandrum itself. So here as a research area we should explore So our thought is like exploring something in English language, like exploring the English language acquisition in this digital era. So we all have different technologies, you may know about this cognitive approach in language acquisition rather than behavior. So we will learn language rather than in classroom. You don't have to remember something. In this digital era, around us there are so many technologies. Okay, wherever we are going, there is some technologies and there is English language also. So you might heard about this dairy milk advertisements of close your eyes. That's in English language, so we all are aware about that song and the way they are presenting and the lines. So it's grammatically correct. So in digital era, we are exploring how this language acquisition is better for our career development. Also, there should be some problems like when we are learning English in this way, at some places, some structure and some grammar, there should be some errors. But although we are exploring this language acquisition in digital era in multi-factor analysis.
Beautiful, Dinesh. All of you are such good speakers. Dinesh and his friends, Bingoshi and Radhesh. I have never pronounced your name correctly.
Hello, I'm Gautam and I'm from Kollam, and I did my graduation and postgrad from Amrita Degree campus. And we were talking. This is Bharat. We were talking about hegemony and post-colonial theory of it, and we decided to go on Bharat's master's thesis, which was about the bike and how it is a representation of post-colonial hegemony that's left behind by the British, and how we so blatantly play into that hegemony, and how we still see it as a sign of masculinity and power. And I'll let Bharat go deeper into it. 90% of the work was him. This was his thesis.
So thank you, my teammate Gautam. I'll take it on from here. So hello everyone, respected teachers, staff members, and all my dear friends who will supposedly will get to know soon much better than now in the future, especially. So me myself, I am Bharat. My full name is Bharat Jayagumar, and I am from a very famous place in Kerala, which is none other than Kochi. Kochi. Or what, since we are discussing about post-colonial theories and all, the place will be, place is called or referred to as Cochin by our foreigners or our colonizers, or etc. So, when I was about to come here, my heart was racing very crazy. That suddenly a song clicked in my mind. I think all of you are familiar with the song that is currently trending now. That is "Somebody's watching me, it's my anxiety." The only correction is that not somebody but everybody here. So yeah, I'm little nervous. Since it's a new experience today, what we have set our foot into, and so. As Gautam mentioned, so our topic of interest or the topic that inspired us was actually my thesis topic, and it was so I did my research on our very favorite and very popular motorcycle in India, he mentioned, which is the famous Bullet, which you refer to as that bike that makes that duck 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 sound. We are more familiar with it being with the captions made like a gun, and yeah, so etc. So the thing that inspired me for taking up this topic as a research was primarily the main statement which we as literature students are more familiar, that is, in literature, everything is a text. So that was the major driving factor which enabled me to do a research on this Bullet bike. And in order to speak more about that, This bullet is belongs to the motorcycle manufacturing company known as Royal Enfield. And origin-wise, Royal Enfield is like originally a British brand. It's not an Indian brand, but currently it has now taken the status of being an Indian production company, and it has its origins from the British. And we know, like we as Indians were under the influence or the oppression of our colonizers, namely the British. And my argument in the my thesis was that this bullet presently takes up the symbol, or takes up to be like the symbol of an instrument, or like I mentioned, the symbol of neo-colonialism. In order to back up it more, like I mentioned, this bullet is from the British origin. And when we analyze this bike, like how we treat this bike or this motorcycle, the way we show conservation, how we mainly treat, or the way we react to this motorcycle is quite interesting. It mainly covers, in our society, this bullet is like a special symbol. This bike is set apart from almost all the other different types of motorcycles. Like for other motorcycles, we refer to as bike, that bike, his bike, my bike. But when it comes to bullet, we'll refer to it as bullet. Wow, ende bullet, ende bullet, ende bullet ni thodaradu. And in order to add up, another inspiration behind this was obviously I also own a bullet. So that is also a driving factor for this. And in order to justify this, in our society we consider this bullet as primarily a symbol of masculinity. So especially our males are more inclined towards this motorcycle. We'll instantly, when we hear about bullet, we'll the notions which come to our mind will majorly be masculinity, a symbol of dominance, symbol of power, etc., etc. And also sometimes not recent now, but in earlier times it was a symbol of status, a high status, or a very important individual within society.
Now also.
Yeah, now also is there, but I think it's for the current trends declining. So yeah, and when I say declining, I mean currently this motorcycle is being mass produced in India. The company is advertising more and more, spending more money in order to make this motorcycle available, to become available for purchase or for ownership for almost all people in India. So that's the current what the company is promoting, this motorcycle. And this trend can be proved by applying Adorno's theory on cult industry. This we are commodifying and commodification of culture. So another key term to we have to the key term that Adorno mentions regarding this is mass production. So that's involved with commodification. So that's why I said, when Sir said, even presently it's seen as a status symbol, but with time it's declining. The value of this motorcycle is declining, because in early on, when its wheels landed on the soil, it was very rare. The production was very rare, sir. So it was very less. So not everyone could have this bike, and that early it was used by British. Then only we started to become we were fascinated. And another driving force behind this was the fact that since we were colonized by them, there's an according to the theory proposed by our very renowned theoretician Bhomike Baba, Indian theoretician. He mentions about the theory of mimicry when it comes to post-colonial studies. So since we were being colonized, there's an innate tendency for us to mimic our colonizers, the way of our colonizers, the hegemony, or like we think like their culture is high and our culture is like, since we were colonized, were low. And so also like there were like a lot of corresponding theories with regard regard to this mimicry, and also the which gives like adds up more to our like hegemonical view of our colonizers' culture. So that's the main idea regarding this. So I hope I wasn't a burden to all of you. Thank you for like enduring me. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for hearing to my boring lecture. So thank you so much.
Go on the mic. Go on. Oh, thank you, Bharat, for that lecture on bullet in your original Kochi charm. Even though Mohanlal movies and bullet bikes are the prime factors in spreading patriarchy in India, in Kerala, it is good that Bharat and people like Bharat do a deconstructive reading of the iconography of patriarchy, so that it gives people, erstwhile feminists like me, a little relief. It is necessary that we question these texts, that we deconstruct them, so that we will get a better world where machismo bikes are not ruling, but they are just becoming texts laid bare before us. Isn't that wonderful? So who is left here to speak?